let us know the planning and sustainable development in Indian context. We have been planning since childhood about picnic, birthday parties, coming first in the class or coming first in the competition. So planning is a part of life. Do you know that what is planning? Planning is a set of it is a set of actions. It is a set of actions. Like if my goal is to come first in the class, so what are my actions? Which actions I will perform so that I can achieve my goal? First action will be eating healthy food. Second action, reading daily. Third action, doing written practice. Fourth action, revision. So these are the set of actions, and this will help me to achieve the goal which I want, and that is coming first in the class. In this chapter, we will come to know about India's goal. Do you know what is India's goal? India's goal is the economic development. If India will develop economically, India will become strong. So planning in a country is done through 5-year plan. We do this through the 5-year plan, and this 5-year plan is for the duration of 5 years. So that is why it is known as 5-year plan. And first 5-year plan was launched in 1951. First was launched in 1951 and till 56 it was there, and the main goal was to develop the primary sector. Then second 5-year plan, it was launched in 1956 to 61, and here the plan was to develop the industrial sector. Then third plan, 5-year plan came. It was from 1961 to 66, and the plan was to improve the production of the wheat. Then came rolling plan. Rolling plan means the plan for one year, each 1 year, as this was the plan for the 5 years, but it was individually one year plan. So this was the rolling plan, and the reason behind that was that the third and fourth 5-year plan was the biggest failure plan in our history. It was due to the war which we have faced. The India faced 2 wars during this period. Number 1 was from the Pakistan and second from the China. Not only this, we also suffered from the drought during this year, and with this we were having some political imbalances also. And the political imbalances was that the Jawaharlal Nehru, he died during these plans, and Lal Bahadur Shastri was there as a prime minister. He also died. Then Indira Gandhi came. So it was totally flop plan. All the money was spent in war, drought, and all these activities. The third and fourth plan is also known as Plan Holiday, and the last plan, which was the 12th 5-year plan, after this the 5-year plan was converted into Niti Aayog, NITI, Niti Aayog in 2015. The plan was converted into Niti. What is Niti? The scheme. Now the India will have a scheme for the development, and the India will work for that. There are 2 approaches to plan. Number 1 is the sectoral plan. Sectoral plan means primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, or the service sector. They will focus totally on the sector plan. And the second one is the regional planning. Regional planning means in India we have uneven pattern of development. There are many regions which are developed, and there are many regions which are not that much developed. And it was necessary to draw the plan for reducing the regional imbalances in these countries. So target area planning was initiated for developing the nation. The target is to develop the economically backward area. Number 1, the focus was toward those regions which were economically backward, and this was only can done through the resource base. But there are areas which are resource rich, even then also they are economically backward. How we can develop economically? It is due to two things. Number one is technology and investment. Two things are required to develop the nation. After realizing this, Planning Commission introduced the target area and the target group. In target area, they targeted on the command area develop program, drought prone area development program, desert development program, hill area development program. So these were the target area. And target group were like small farmers development agency, marginal farmer development agency. These are the target plans which India was targeting at that time. Under 8th 5-year plan, there were total 15 districts, and these were all hilly districts, and they focused in these districts like the hilly districts of Uttarakhand, then Mikid hills, North Kachar hills of Assam, then Darjeeling district, West Bengal, Nilgiri district of Tamil Nadu. The National Committee on Development on the Backward Area in 1981 recommended that all the hilly area in the country having height more than 600 meter should be covered under tribal sub-plan benefited as backward hilly areas of these. The detailed plan of the development of hilly areas were aimed to develop horticulture. They were total means they after watching the topographical condition or the ecological condition, social condition, economic condition, the programs were aimed that there should be the development program for the horticulture, plantation, animal husbandry, poultry, forestry, small scale, and the village industry, so that they can next target area is the drought prone program, and this program was having the main objective of providing employment to the people which lives in the drought prone area, because agriculture was not that much possible, and it wasn't possible to provide the employment under agriculture sector. So it was the emphasis on the irrigation project, land development programs, afforestation, grassland development, and creation of basic rural infrastructure, like they planned that each home should have electricity, they should have the road facility, market, credit, and other services. National Committee on Development on these backward area reviewed the performance of this program. It has been observed that the program is largely confined to the development of agriculture and allied sector. So what are the allied sector over here? Like agriculture produces raw material, and with the support of secondary and service sector, they can enhance their production. So this was the allied activities which was attached with the primary sector, and they focused totally on the restoration of the ecological balance. The balance was not that much good at that time, so their main focus was to balance the ecology. The total growing population was putting pressure on the agriculture sector, and this agriculture sector was not that much effective to feed such a population. So that is why in drought prone area main concentration was focused on the service sectors, so that people can earn their livelihood through the other sectors. Planning Commission of India in 1967 noticed that there were 67 districts in the country which was prone to drought, and Irrigation Commission 1972 introduced the criteria for 30% irrigated area and demarcated the drought prone area. Now, these areas which were under the drought prone area were like Rajasthan, Gujarat, western Madhya Pradesh, then Marathwada region of Maharashtra, so Telangana, Rayalaseema, plateau of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka plateau, highlands and interior part of Tamil Nadu, the drought prone area of Punjab, Haryana and North Rajasthan are largely protected due to spread of irrigation in these regions. Let's do the case study of Integrated Tribal Development Project at Bharmor. You can see that here is Bharmor region. This is toward the east side of the Chamba. Let us see here. This is the total map of the Bharmor tribal region. Mean height of Bharmor from the sea is about 1,500 meters to 3,700 meters. This is also known as the home of the Gaddis. Bharmor is surrounded by the Lufi mountains. In the north, here, in the north side there is a Pir Panjal, whereas toward the south side it is having a Dhauladhar and the Ravi river and its tributaries. These tributaries divides the regions into the Holi, then Khani, Kugti, Tunda. So these are the regions which you can see in the map if you will go through deeply. Like here is a Khani, this is Kugti, this is Tunda, Holi. Whenever you are studying, you study with the help of map, then only you will be able to understand that what are the things in the map. And it have a freezing condition and snowfall. In summers, there are the temperature is around 20 degrees Celsius, whereas during the January time the temperature is around 4 degrees Celsius. On 21st November 1975, it was notified as a tribal area. People practice transhumance. What is transhumance? Transhumance means people go up on the hill during the summer season and during the winter season they come back to the plain areas. This is because during winter these areas face the snowfall, due to which they come down during the summer season. So this is what we call the transhumers. In 2001 the total population was around I'm talking about only the Bharmor. The total population was 37,246. That is 20% per square kilometer. It was the density of Bharmor, and it is one of the most backward area. The economy is totally dependent on the agriculture or the sheep rearing activities. These process of development of tribal area Bharmor started in 1970s when Gaddis were included into the scheduled tribes, and it was under the 5th 5-year plan when they were under the scheduled tribe. They were declared as a scheduled tribe in 5th 5-year plan, and in 1974 the Bharmor was designated as one of the 5th integrated tribal development project in the Himachal Pradesh. The area development plan was aimed at improving the quality of the Gaddis and narrowing the gap in the level of development between Bharmor and other areas of Himachal Pradesh. This plan laid the highest priority on development of transportation, communication were provided, agriculture, allied activities were developed, social and community services were provided in such areas. They were having the facilities of health, school, portable road, water, communication, electricity. So most of the facilities were provided to the Bharmor region. Now also there are many regions which are not till now developed, and these are the remote areas in the Tunda, Kugti area. There is now also insufficient infrastructure. Bharmor region got the social benefits by these policies. They are having now literacy rate, improved sex ratio, and there is a decline in the child marriage also. Female literacy rate in this region have increased from 1.88% in 1971 to 42.83% in 2001. The difference between male and female in literacy level, that is gender inequality, has also declined. Previously there were the people who used to say that girls will stay at home and boys will go to school. This thinking has totally changed now. Both are equal. Girls are also educated over here, but now also the people, they are doing the agriculture work with the traditional methods, and without any technology the crop cultivation is done, and gadis are still very mobile as a sizable action of them to migrate to the Kangra and surrounding area during the winter, and this is just to earn the livelihood. We all know about the sustainable development. What is the sustainable development? Means the development which we have achieved should be sustained. It should not be decreased, rather than it should be increased. So let us go through it. Let me read the uh, points which is written in this. The term development is generally used to describe the state of particular society and the process of change experienced by them, and these changes are always positive. During a fairly large period of human history, the state of the society has largely been determined by the infrastructure process and between human society and their biophysical environment. The process of human environment interaction depend upon the level of technology. The more technological you are advanced, the state will advance more. The institution nature by the society. While the technology and institution have helped in increasing the pace of human environment interaction. What is pace? Pace is a speed, and the momentum thus generated in return has accelerated technology. The speed of the technology have increased, and the transformation and the creation of institution have also changed. Hence development is a multi-dimensional concept. Development doesn't mean or doesn't focus on one part, it focuses in many parts of the economy, society, and the environment. The concept of development is dynamic, it is not static, it changes and has evolved during the second half of the 20th century. In the post World War II era, the concept of development was synonym to economic development. If people used to say that what is development, their main focus was toward the economic growth. They used to think that the economic growth is only the development, which is measured in terms of temporal increase in gross national product and per capita income or the per capita consumption. But even the country having high economic growth experienced speedy rise in poverty. The country or the state or the region, if they are experiencing the economic growth, but even then also they have a poverty, and it is unequal distribution. So in 1970 the phrase such as redistribution with growth and equality were incorporated, and in definition of development, while dealing with the questions related to redistribution and equality, it was realized that the concept of development cannot be restricted to the economic sphere alone. It also includes the issues that, as such, people availing of health, education, and equality of opportunity and ensuring political and civil rights. So people should know all these things, and they should have all the facility which government is providing, like health, education, and whatever facility the government provide, you should avail it. Development emerged as a concept of encapsulating widespread improvement in society as well as material well-being of all the society. The notion of sustainable development emerges in the wake of general rise in the awareness of environment issues in late 1960s in the Western world. It reflected the concern of people about the undesirable effect of industrial development. People were improving, they were developing the secondary sector, but they were not thinking about the environment, due to which the environment got a big negative impact on that. So people started thinking on the environment as well. The publication of the population bomb by the Ariel in 1968, the limit of growth by Meadow and other in 1972 further raised the level of fear among environmentalists in particular and people in general. This set scenario of emerge of new model of development under a broad face, and that is called a sustainable development. Development over here means that we should develop but without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own need. So the Prime Minister of Norwegian, Gro Harlem Brundtland, he gave his opinion, and that was entitled as Our Common Future in 1987. This report defined the sustainable development, and it was like development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. With the development of the nation, you should also take care of the ecological, social, or economical aspect, so that we can enhance the future generation, so that they can also use the resources which we are using. So whatever we are doing, we should keep the future generation in our mind for the development. Now let us also do the case study of Indira Gandhi Canal, which is it is also known as Nehar. Indira Gandhi Canal is also known as Rajasthan Canal. It was conceived by Kanwar Sen in 1948. The canal was launched on 31st March 1958. The canal originates at the Harike Barrage in Punjab and runs parallel to the Pakistan border at the average distance of 40 km in Thar Desert, which is a Marusthal of Rajasthan. The total planned length of the system is 9,060 km. It is planned and catering to the irrigation need of the total cultivable command area of 19.63 lakh hectare. Out of total command area, about 70% was envisaged to be irrigated by flow system, and rest it is lift system. I have talked about the lift system. So do you know what is lift system? Means it is going against the slope. Normally the river flow toward the slope side, but the Indira Gandhi Canal, it is going against the slope, and this is due to the lift system. Means motors have been installed to lift the water. It have some stages. Let us see what are the stages. Now over here it is the irrigation in the first stage, where the water is flowing in the first stage. It is for the irrigation, and it was introduced in the early 1960s, whereas the command stage, we are talking about the first, it was the irrigation stage, and the second one is the command stage, and it began receiving irrigation in mid 1980s. The introduction of canal irrigation in the dry land has transformed ecologically, economically, and society. They all were happy. It has influenced the environmental condition of the region. It was having the positive as well as negative both impact. The availability of soil moisture for a long period of time and various afforestation and pasture development program under CAD had resulted in greening the land. So this was a positive thing that we were having a green land. This has also helped in reducing the wind erosion and siltation of canal system, but the intensive irrigation and excessive use of water has led to the emergence of twin environmental problem of water logging and soil salinity. Water started logging at the particular places and it was getting saline. The positive part was that the traditional crop was sown in that area like gram, bajra, jawahar, wheat, coconut, groundnut, rice. But due to logging of the water or lodging of the water or the soil salinity, it was not successful for the long run, and it was a hamper on the sustainability of agriculture. As too much questions were asked by the various scholars about the measures of the promotion of the sustainable development, there was the requirement for to restore the ecological balance. First one was that there was the requirement in implementation of water management policy. The canal project envisaged project irrigation in stage 1 and extensive irrigation of crop and pasture development in second stage. In general, the cropping pattern shall not include water intensive crop. It shall be adhered to. The people shall be encouraged to grow plantation crops such as citrus fruit. The CAT programs such as lining of water course, land development and leveling of Varabandi system, which is equal distribution of land water in the command area of outlets, shall be effectively implemented to reduce and convince loss of water. The area affected by water logging and the soil salinity shall be reclaimed. The eco development through afforestation, shelter belt plantation and pasture development is necessary, particularly in the fragile environment of stage 2, which is a command 1. The social sustainability in the region can be achieved only if the land allotter having poor economic background are provided to adequate financially and infrastructure support for the cultivation land. And the last one is the economic sustainability in the region cannot be attained only through development of agriculture and animal husbandry. The agriculture and allied activity, allied means the activity which is connected with the agriculture like service and the tertiary sector or the industrial sector. Other sector, this shall lead to the diversification of economic base and establishment of the functional linkage between basic village, agro service center and the market center.